first want to do a little bit of player comparison. And we've done that before on the channel. And what I'm trying to do is kind of temper or continue to hype up our expectations for certain players by comparing them to other translatable peers. And what I mean by that is not just look at our guys within our ranks and kind of get biased, but how do they rank? How do they compare to some of the other people in world football? So what we're going to do as we do that is we're actually going to look at our boy Andrey Santos. And the reason we're going to do that, guys, is because I think he is absolutely electric. I think he is not everything Chelsea needs, because we need a lot, but he is a good amount of what we need. I think he brings energy to the midfield. I think he loves putting a tackle in, which is, I mean, we got a good amount in the midfield already with Caicedo, right? But he's physical. He brings a commanding presence. Even though he's only 21, he has a captain's mentality. It's crazy, guys, but he's in RC Strasbourg right now, right? He's finished up his loan. He was captain of his team. Think about it dynamic-wise. I know they're kind of our sister club, which makes it maybe a little bit different, but still, you're a loaned player there for a set amount of time, and you're wearing the captain's armband. Rossignol, the manager there, already said there are other people that were probably deserving, but Santos most deserved it. Guys, he is a leader, a natural-born leader. He's already captained the youth Brazil squad. Of course, Brazil is not a country lacking in talent. He's special. But what I want to do is I want to basically state this fact, and this is my take. We don't need any signings in the midfield at all this summer. We do not need any attention in the midfield. And I'm going to pose this to you, this idea, by comparing him to another really well-touted young midfielder, by basically saying we're bringing in a new midfielder in Andrey Santos, and we're bringing in an elite midfielder. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to adjust my mic. And then after that, what I want us to do is I want us to compare, and I want you to leave your opinion down below about whether or not you agree that we don't need reinforcement in the midfield, and it is just those other positions we've all talked about, right? With center back, with a center forward, possibly a winger, right? And a goalkeeper. So basically every other position, right? Except fullbacks. But I want to affirm that center midfielder, we're going to be just all right. So this is kind of a sneak peek into what we'll do the rest of the summer, assessing our different position groups, possibly grading performances and going from there. But before we do any more rambling, let's go ahead and hop over to SofaScore, where we're going to compare two of these players. Okay, guys, so no surprises here. You see Andrey Santos on the left, and then on the right you see João Neves, or Neves, I think you're supposed to say, because he's Portuguese. I'm comparing them because both of them are midfielders. You see right down here their heat map, and they're both young players. They both play in the center midfield. Neves kind of a variety of different places as well, but he does play as more of a defensive midfielder. And I want to compare the two. The reason I'm doing that is because João Neves has kind of been compared and touted as the next one, right? The next elite world-class midfielder coming up, and for good reason. But I want to pose to you, not that Andrey Santos is necessarily better, but that they're comparable and very comparable, and that actually Santos is better in certain ways. Neves is better than Santos in other ways, but they battle each other in most of the departments. First off, if you see their age, they're 21 and 20. I looked it up; they're only 4 months apart. I think it was Santos was born in May and Neves in September. So they're really not far apart. They're 4 months apart. So essentially the same age. Market value 3 times for Neves. And this is, again, getting my point. Similar players, one's getting way more attention than the other. And I think it's a little unjustified. So let's go ahead and hop down. I'm just going to look at, basically I want to look at offensive statistics and possibly a little bit defensive as well. To be completely unbiased. So here, first off, we see they played a similar amount of matches, 32 and 29. Santos played basically the whole game every match, which also says a lot to his durability, which I love. So that doesn't really tell us a whole lot because honestly, João Neves is just not playing quite as much every game because there's actual more competition for him, of course, at PSG than Strasbourg. But scroll down here to attack, guys. This is amazing to me. Amazing to me. Not a single statistic does João Neves edge Santos on, except big chances, No, actually, no, not even that one. So basically what I'm trying to say here, guys, again, this is not a hit piece on João Neves. He's an amazing player. This is just me trying to say, let's get excited about Andrey Santos. There's real reason to be excited about him. He has 10 goals from the midfield. Unbelievable stats there. And that's from an expected goals of 5. So from 5 expected goals, he has 10 goals. He is almost doubling his expected output, that is kind of astonishing, actually, if you think about it. João Neves is slightly bettering, but he's bettering it by 0.02, right? So unbelievable stat. That's the main one. I think that's just amazing to see. You can expect him to chip in the goal department when Andrey Santos comes in, because he loves himself a long shot and he loves himself a header. He's really good at aerial duels, even though he's not that big. He's a little bit under 6 foot. He's a very physical guy, so love that. And then pass accuracy, we see João has him edged, right, in a lot of these things. He's more creative than Andrey Santos. Andrey had 3 assists to João Neves 8. And then I actually think it's really funny. Neither of them cross barely at all. Andrey Santos crosses not at all. So the reason for that, if you're wondering, is because he a lot of times was the guy receiving the crosses. And he's kind of similar to Enzo. This latter half of the season was the one getting in on crosses, kind of getting in at the final phase of play. So that makes sense. But anyway, yeah, João Neves has him edged for sure on pass accuracy. But then back here up on attacking, the thing that I think is really, really interesting, guys, and that I'm really excited about is that Andrey Santos brings goal contributions to your midfield. He's kind of this all-in-one player that loves a tackle, he loves defending, but he also provides a lot going forward. He has 13 goal contributions and 32 appearances for Strasbourg as a 21-year-old, right? João Neves has 11, so similar in that department, Santos edging it. And then lastly, looking at defending. In defending, Andrey Santos also betters Neves. He has more interceptions per game, more tackles per game at 3.4. He's dribbled past slightly more than João Neves. More than double the clearances per game, and slightly more blocked shots per game. That's all I wanted to look at, stats-wise, guys. So bottom line, the reason I showed us this is because I think it's good for us to remember that while this ownership group has been frustrating at times, they've also hit the jackpot at other times. I think Andrey Santos is not just one for the future, he's one for now, he's one for next season. And think about this pivoting group, this group cycling each other off and on. We got Enzo Fernandez, Moises Caicedo, Andrey Santos, and Romeo Lavia. All 4 of those have potential to be elite, I would say possibly world-class midfielders, and they're all under 24 or under 25. That's amazing. That is the future 10 years of our midfield, in my opinion, sorted. Will it need attention here and there for depth, injury purposes? Probably. But that pivot of 4 guys, for my opinion, I'm saying 2 spots. Because I'm saying the number 10 role, which I kind of consider that 3rd spot is a separate equation that we'll talk about later. That is electric for me. Because think about it, these guys are not going to be discontent in my opinion, because we're going to have, hopefully, Champions League, worst case scenario, Europa League football, that we're going to need really good squads in. It's not going to be B squads like it was for the Conference League. It's going to be A and rotated A. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be strong fronts everywhere, and we need good depth, and depth that's actually at quality minutes. Andrey Santos is just that.